Hey guys, so I'm working on a new cue for a film and I'm looking for interesting new sounds because I keep going to my same string patches and synth pads for this cue. It's like an ambient melancholy moment in the film and I'm looking for something organic. So I got sent a new contact library by BioSoul Digital. It's called EEYORE. And what compelled me to use it in this track is that it's like a unique sound source that is playable, and that's exactly what I'm looking for every time I want to do something unique and cool for a film. The way that I'm playing strings and pads and arranging it to the film is obviously what makes the cue unique, but sometimes I want to have that one sound that's really unique. And I love bowed cymbals, but most of the bowed cymbal patches that I use are to actually sound like a cymbal. Or some metallic sound wash, something like that, where I'll throw a ton of reverb. But this is actually a really playable instrument built all around bowed cymbals. And so I thought it'd be really cool in this track. And I just got this instrument and haven't played around with all of its capabilities. But when I threw it on this, it immediately started working for me really well. So I thought it'd be great to just like jump in and show you some of the patches I was gravitating towards. So let me just show you what the actual instrumental track was starting to shape up like before I reached for this tool. All right, so there's like ambient vocals, super washed out reverb on them, synthesizer pads, and like harmonics and string tremolos. So I wanted something organic, but also processed and unique. So EEYORE, like I said, it's a bowed cymbal library, but it's really playable. So they've gone through and either tuned the samples, or I don't know what magic they did to get these sounding the way that they are. But when you open it up, it's like a super simple GUI, which I kind of like too, as long as the presets are cool, which they are. If they're not, I want like tons of bells and whistles. But if stuff sounds awesome out of the box, I'm usually pretty cool with that. So you get actually the donkey here, and the mod wheel controls his head. And I found some cool ways to actually use that they built some stuff in. But I love having playable MIDI stuff. For me, if the mod wheel doesn't do anything, I generally don't use the plugin or the library. So if you go to the browser here, there's like, tons of types, and based on either what their function in the track is, or all of that good stuff here, and you can choose multiple of them and filter things like that. But in this one, I was really liking, there's a preset here called, what was it called? Start with an L. Oh, Lispy. That's right. So check this out. Just like enough of the bowed cymbal to actually hear the organicness of it, but so much like purity of sine wave vibes that it fits this really great for what I'm doing. Right, so you can hear that's already going to work out. And in Pro Tools, I just have my chord symbols there. This is a super diatonic track, meaning just like E minor all the way. So I needed something playable. I just don't want to wash it out with like sound design. And usually, like I said, cymbal libraries or any kind of bowed metals have that less definite pitch thing going on. So I wanted something super playable here. The pedal works really well with it. And you could hear that when I move EEYORE's head, it opens it up. So in fact, and you can automate that. And this is what I actually why I wanted to use this, was if you turn on the LFO, it puts a low frequency oscillator onto his head, which is pretty cool because he's kind of headbanging, and you can change the frequency, so how fast he's going. And if we go really fast, he's super headbanging, and you could change the amplitude, so like how deep the modulation is. So you hear it, it's breathing super life into this. And that's going to give me a really nice sense of motion in the track. So let's just go ahead and drop that in. Like already I'm sold on that. I might wash it out a bit more with some more reverb. I know there's some reverb sends and things like that here. But often I'll just toss something on. Yeah, so I'm super loving this plugin. There's so many more patches in here. In fact, if we just grab another instance of it, I probably made it at the bottom of the session. I'm not gonna go fishing. I like some of the bass sounds. And so like, you know, I could show you me scoring this whole scene with just one plugin. But let me just drop in one more thing here. So some of the bass sounds were really cool. Again, I'm looking for something really playable here. Ooh, that's nice. That's not going to work for what I'm going here for sustain, but. Ooh. Ooh, I'm liking that. And the only thing I need for that is just that the attack is a little slower. There we go. So I was looking for, I wanted something pitched, full, and let's put a little EEYORE pulsing into that. Let's turn up the reverb send. Ooh, I like that. And the only other thing I might do is just lower it in the mix. Yes, I love that he's pumping his head with it. Just fills it out nicely, but it's also some organic motion. Awesome. Yeah, so there's so many other patches in here, and I actually think this could be really cool to build an entire queue around it. But my favorite part of it is having something that is unique, organic, obviously fits the track, but has some like just subtle motion in it. I think maybe that's my favorite part about this thing. Yeah, well, anyway, check it out. Thanks to the guys over at BioSoul Digital for sending this contact instrument over. It's going to be used on this film.